What's up, guys? Fortune here, once again with Karma, going over the top 8 match of the Birmingham Star Wars Destiny Regional. This one is going to be with Lake from Your Destiny versus, is it Dan? Yeah, versus Dan on the other side. So we got Snoke, Thrawn, and we got Vader Greedo. How do you think this is going to go down?
Honestly, it could potentially go either way, but if Thrawn Snoke does Thrawn Snoke things, it gets pretty gross and hard to keep up with.
So, how do you feel about Thrawn Snoke after the point increase on Snoke, making them run Bitter Rivalry? Do you think it's really changed the deck all that much, or are people just running other things because they got tired of running Thrawn Snoke?
I think it definitely changed people's minds a little bit because it went from being one of the top decks to Vader taking over instead, because they were like, well, now that we have to take this kind of punch from this plot, we're like, well, we'll play something else that's going to be typically just as strong, if not stronger if played right. So right. I think it did affect it a lot.
There are definitely some plays that are opened up with Bitter Rivalry. Things like being able to immediately move that damage over to your opponent with, what's that card called? Steadfast, yeah. Mm-hmm. Plays where Vader can immediately heal up that 2 damage with No Good to Me Dead to gain 2 resources turn 1. So it adds a lot of interesting possibilities. Or, I mean, it's just straight damage. Knocking Thrawn down to 10 health turn 1 isn't bad.
Yeah, especially if you get your battlefield. Plus, if you're like a blue hero player and you're playing Treasure Lightsaber, it gives you 6 cards. So now you can play Treasure Lightsaber and still have enough cards to get that 3 damage off of that special.
Very true. Alright, so they're still setting up. I think that it looks like they've mulliganed, so we're just about ready to get started.
I don't even think Dan kept anything he had.
It doesn't look like it.
No,
I mean, with Vader, you're really looking for a couple of specific cards. If you don't get them, I mean, you just get rid of them.
Yeah. That's one thing about certain decks that are played when they're built very similar to each other, they all look for the same thing pretty much every time.
Yeah, with Vader, assuming that you get your battlefield, you want Vader's lightsaber and maybe a Fear and Deadman just for fun.
Right.
But
just
Vader's lightsaber, what's it called? The Friends and High. It's nice to have turn 1 so that you can just luck out and play Vader's Fist. You know, no big deal.
Either Vader's Fist or just getting a nice upgrade down at least turn 1 and paying and being able to pay for your damage too.
Yeah, getting Darksaber with Friends and High into a big upgrade, or Friends and High into a free Fair and Deadman, or Friends and High into really anything in the deck, you know.
Yeah, besides like a free hidden motive or something when it's not needed.
Right. All right.
So he rolled a nice 4 for the Vader Greedo.
Yeah, it looks... The 2 and the 3s get really muddled on the screen, so it's hard to tell. So that's either a 4 or a 5. And it looks like a 3 from Lake, so either way, we get Theed on Vader, and we get this round started. So we're probably going to see 2 shields on Thrawn as well as 2 damage, if I had to guess.
Yep.
Here's the 2 damage, there's the 2 shields. I mean, Thrawn's the real important one in the deck, right? So.
Yeah, he's always the target. I mean, Snoke still has his focus sides and everything, so... But Thrawn just gets frustrating later on when he's pitching cards from your hand if they're guessing right.
Right. So we start off with the power action from Theed, means we probably have a Vader Saber in the hand. Or if not a Vader Saber, one of the other mini 3-cost upgrades that Vader can run.
Or maybe he got a Darksaber and he's trying to
Which, speaking of, Thrawn just activated. Let's see what Lake called.
Yeah, gives him an idea what to call.
Yeah. Do you think he goes for the 3 cost there? We don't have audio, so...
I would almost say go for 3 costs. Just because you already know what they're looking for. Well,
it looks like he went for the hidden motive. Can you see what's in the hand?
I cannot.
Rip. Bad job showing the camera the hand, Lake. Come on. You can do better than that. I saw at least that looked like a Force Illusion.
Yeah, I think that's what it was a Force Illusion. Because he still has 5 cards either way, so...
Right. Well, 4 cards. No, 5, because Bitter Rivalry gives him a draw card. You're right. I forget that's the thing Bitter Rivalry does.
Yes.
So we see a Vader roll to 2 resource and a blank, and overconfidence on both dice. Oh my
goodness. Just making you pitch your hand early.
And it looks like the blank got removed and 3 damages on the table now. So he's going to power action. So here's the thing that I've seen Lake like to do. He gets rid of one of Vader's die, make you mitigate, and then best defense. Bam. Right on cue.
That's so smooth.
Yeah. Vader losing both of his dice turn 1 is such a huge hit.
And you're losing 2 cards out of hand because one he's Thrawn activating, and then he's making you pitch another one.
Yeah, it's like you can't really even come back from it at that point.
No. He's almost making you pay for getting that extra card.
Best defensing both of Vader's die turn 1 after you've already power action just turns off your entire turn.
Yeah,
It's
you're
nothing you
shut
can do.
down.
Yeah. Because Greedo dang sure ain't going to do nothing with that blank over there.
Nope, and it's not even really worth pitching and re-rolling it.
Meanwhile, Snoke is rolled into a resource and a focus.
No, that's 2 shields.
Is that 2 shields?
That's 2 shields. He's got his focus on
I said Snoke.
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought you said...
I said Snoke. I might have said Thrawn.
I'm sorry. You might have... I think you said Snoke, but...
Yeah.
It's so hard to get the resource sides on Thrawn. He only has the one side that has 2.
Very right. Alright, so Greedo gets re-rolled into a Disrupt. I mean, that's not horrible. It's definitely not what you want to see, especially when both of your Vader cards or Vader dice have been mitigated.
Yeah.
But you are facing a vehicle deck. So, I mean, anytime you can disrupt a resource from them is good.
I mean, it wouldn't even be a point to... I would say just resolve, because, I mean, that could be the one resource that makes a difference of 2 or 3 TIE fighters dropping on you in turn 1.
Exactly. So we get the double focus probably to all resources.
Yep.
Yep. So we're going to get a power action for 4, get 2 more, and then 1 more. So that's 7 resources turn 1. And then a disrupt for 1, so 6 resources.
Yep. That's just enough to drop 3 if you're going for TIE fighters.
And meanwhile, Vader Greedo didn't get to do any damage this game. There is 4 damage showing on Thrawn due to the best defense and the power action. So that is the good thing about...
Yeah, between the best defense, the bit of rivalry, and the power action.
Where did the other 2 damage go, though?
He changed it to because he had 2 shields from the.
That's right. You're right.
Yes.
Okay, so yeah, but best defense and power action. That is the good thing about Thrawn Snoke is it slowly kills itself. If you can't deal with it, it'll eventually deal with itself.
Yeah, even if you're dealing 2 or 3 damage on it, I mean, him adding another damage to him doesn't help him any. So there's already 2 TIE fighters right there.
Yep, 2 TIE fighters, a 3rd in the hand.
He hasn't took that extra one from Snoke yet. And they don't have any pay sides, so...
Alright, he's going to go ahead and start rolling them in. He does have the resource showing on Snoke, so he'll probably take it and roll in another TIE fighter.
God, turn 1 with 3 TIE fighters, just so gross.
Turn 1 with Thrawn Snoke, period, is always going to be gross.
Know. Like, if you can stop that deck from ramping, it changes that whole game for that deck.
It really does. But it takes a lot to stop it from ramping because it can ramp.
I mean, unless you can take
wants.
Thrawn's dice off the board pretty much before he can power action, that's like the only way you can really stop it.
Right. All right, so he rolled into a 2 indirect, a +2 ranged, and a blank on his TIE fighters. At this point, I'm sure Dan is either already claimed or he's waiting to use some mitigation that might be in his hand.
So he pitched a TIE fighter reroll.
He got 4 indirect down, and it looks like a single ranged on the other TIE fighter.
Yeah, looks like 1.
So I guess Dan is... He just claims it looks like.
Yeah, I think he already did.
All right. Talking amongst themselves. So all in all, it's not been a horrible turn 1.
No.
I mean, he has gotten technically 4 damage on the board through 2 shields.
And 1 damage to Greedo.
And he's gotten the indirect damage into Greedo, which you don't really care about, honestly.
That was the range damage, I think. Did he push it that way?
He pushed 1 damage into Vader, but the 4 indirect into Greedo was... Or 4 damage into Greedo was indirect.
Might as well only got 1 on him then.
What do you mean?
He only has 1 damage on him.
On Vader.
4. I'm looking at them backwards. That's
Yeah.
what it is. My bad.
Okay. So we're going on into round 2. Almost equal damage amounts, but the board state is massive for
and the Vader's Fist.
for Lake. I was literally about to say that Dan has 5 resources, though. That means that he can drop Vader's Fist whenever he wants. There it is. And
Right
it looks
into
like
a
you got the 4
4
for 1. That's always my luck. You can just spend all of my money for this big thing. Here's the non-resolvable side. Have fun.
Yep. I mean, you could always get maybe you have a truce or something in hand.
All right, so...
That feint play is so good.
Yep, feint is ridiculous.
With Thrawn, it's just gross.
All right, so we got rid of a No Good To Me Dead, I think that is over there.
Yes.
Yeah, Feint lets you get rid of a random card and then target one specifically your next action, so it's not bad.
Unless you have some way to play it. But most likely, when you got 3 costs like that in your hand, it's probably not happening.
So we got the power action on Theed, which means that 4 indirect is resolvable on Vader's Fist. So now Lake's thinking about what his next move should be.
I mean, you could always get rid of him. Yeah, just get rid of another card in his hand.
Alright, so he calls out specifically for the at odds. Yeah, that's a good thing to get rid of.
Right, just get rid of the mitigation.
You get rid of the mitigation, which is important, but also at odds. That's the one that goes back on the bottom of your deck when you use it, right? So rather than just let him keep recurring the same card over and over again, may as well get rid of it.
Yeah, I think Dan was definitely trying to take his Vader deck for mill for sure.
Very true.
Which is not a bad play.
All right, so 4 indirect goes down. I believe, yeah, all of it went into Snoke.
Of course.
Snoke gets the chance cube down. So now, doesn't matter what happens, he's making $1 million.
Yep. When you got 2 characters with focuses, I mean, it's almost impossible to keep them off the money.
Vader rolls into 2 resources and 2 or 3 damage, and then Snoke rolls into a bunch of focus and looks like $1.
Yeah, that's a resource. You got focuses for days. I mean, you can roll in all your TIE fighters and get all the damage you want.
I'd probably, if that's the 3 damage on Vader, if I was Dan, I'd probably go ahead and resolve it. Just because I know Lake's so keen on mitigating. But he goes ahead and rolls in for the 3 damage on Vader's Fist, which is super strong.
And it's the free 3.
He's now got either 5 or 6 damage showing, depending on what that Vader die is. Lake don't care, though. He got all the focus and money for days. We'll probably see his own Vader's Fist come down here, if I had to guess. So he uses one of the focuses to turn to the 3 resource. Don't even act like you're thinking here. Like, you know you're going to turn it to the money.
Yep.
Yep.
And then save the other focuses, which is very smart.
Yep. It saves the other focuses for more mitigation, or just, if he doesn't mitigate, you can get another die swapped over. So he goes ahead and resolves the 3 resources, leaving the 2 out there so that he can power action it. The 3 damage from Vader's Fist was resolved onto Thrawn, putting him at 7 damage. Greedo rolls in for that hot single damage.
I mean, that would put him at 80 power actions, puts him at 9, so.
Puts him at 9, and then Vader could kill him, but Force Illusion comes down. So. You gotta just start resolving that damage. Puts 1 more into Thrawn.
Yep.
TIE Fighters start rolling out, gets a resource. I wonder if Dan runs bait and switch.
If he did, it'd be good right now. Just hit for like 5 to 6 damage. Just
yeah.
Because you can take Thrawn off the board. Well, either way, you could probably take him off the board if you hit the right amount of damage.
Right. I could technically pause the video and go watch our deck tech that we have up on our channel, but I'm too lazy for that. So
we're just gonna ponder and watch and see if it happens.
All right. So he does resolve the damage from Vader. Looks like it is how much damage?
I think he's thinking about if he wants to take it or not.
Looks like it was 3 damage.
No, 2.
2 damage?
Yep. Because he was at 8.
Right. So that leaves Thrawn at 2 health. If I can math right, plus Force Illusion.
So another 1 damage.
So
you got so many focus, you could have TIE Fighters on all the indirect damage and deal 6.
Right. We're taking the 2 resources from Vader.
It's not a bad move, because you still got another action with the Vader's Fist.
Yeah, but you don't necessarily need it, because you can Vader's Fist turn it to whatever side that you want.
As long as it doesn't roll the side you want.
Yeah, it does have that 1 in 6 chance of rolling into the 3 side that you want, which sucks. So, fun rules fact, when you power action Vader's Fist, you do have to roll it and then turn it from whatever side that it lands on. So if you want that 3 for free side and you roll it in and it hits it, you have to turn it away from it.
Yep, as long as Vader's on the field.
As long as Vader's on the field. So he does roll it in. I think it hit indirect. He turns it to the 3 for free.
Yep, so he still got what he wanted.
Just pump it into Thrawn at this point, make him discard 3.
Yeah, because I mean, he might hit some of those vehicles he's holding in there yet and got yet, which is always good. thinking about using the focus.
Dan does have 2 resources and potentially a Beguile or some type of big mitigation in his hand. So
He did have an overconfidence earlier. I don't know if he's used it or not.
I don't think I've seen him use it, but it's possible. It looks like we get a power action, which puts Thrawn at 1 health.
So at this point, he would just be, if he, well, I mean, he would illusion it. So if he didn't have another die, it would definitely be overkill. But
so he got the extra focus down with the power action, turning all of the TIE fighters into some good range damage.
And some indirect. Oof.
So it looks like he's got lethal on Greedo and extra damage to pump into Vader after Greedo dies. I assume that's why he would go to the range damage over the indirect. Go ahead and kill Greedo before he can price a failure.
Yeah, that way all 4 of that indirect has to go onto Vader. Versus just the 3 that he needs to kill Greedo.
Right. Dan does get his own Force Illusion down, so he'll be able to soak up a good bit of damage.
Yeah, I mean, what do you always say? Play your defensive cards when you got them.
Play your defensive cards. Beguile to
Oh
reroll
my
Blink
gosh.
and remove Vader's fist.
Wow.
All right, that's I guess a thing. It does make sure that you have to spend 2 dice to kill Thrawn next turn, which is pretty big.
Yeah.
Although Greedo could potentially pop Force Illusion here. He does not. It looks like he gets the 2 indirect. Or no, the
He
disrupt.
got a disrupt, sadly.
And Greedo could have been a hero there, but he failed.
I know.
He
Would've been
always
very
comes in
beautiful.
clutch, except for when he doesn't.
I mean, I would honestly just take that 4 indirect right now because he's only got 1 damage, so.
It looks like he is.
Yeah.
All right, and claim and pass, and we move on to the next round. So again, it's not the worst game for Dan right now. Vader can, of course, just like roll out and just immediately murk anyone he wants.
Yeah.
But
Vader.
those TIE fighters are scary, man. What's he have? 4 damage on Snoke, leaving him at, what, 7 health? Vader can take that out with just his character dice.
Yeah, just
And
the character
then
dice. On a
Roll in, resolve fist, and then power action it, resolve it again, game's over.
Yeah. It's crazy how easily, with just 1 character with no upgrades, can do that much damage. He's definitely a terror to behold. Maul Saber.
Okay, so I actually took Maul Saber out of my deck because I'm not a big fan of the extra blue sides that it gives you.
Yeah, no.
But I mean, it is obviously ridiculously strong. Being able to resolve a Vader dice for 8 and then roll them all back out and just resolve another 8 on the other Vader die is obviously best case scenario, but ridiculous.
It's just gross being able to resolve Vader, and if you have Vader Saber and Mauls, resolve the Vader Saber, deal a damage, roll it back in and Vader die, and then if you do the power action on Maul die, you put that back in too if they don't have any shields.
Yep.
So you just got 2 of your dice back.
Yep, so theoretically with Maul and Vader Saber down, you have an extra 2 dice on the field.
Yeah,
so you'd have
basically.
like 6 dice on Vader technically, as long as you have the resources for it.
Yeah, and they both do have 1 base side at least on them, so I mean, it's not super likely that you might manage to hit him, but if you at least have the Vader's die out there, I mean, you still have a chance of getting what you need because he's nothing but base sides.
Right. It looks like actually power action to pop Force Illusion and gain a crap ton of money. So he's probably got a Vader's Fist in his hand if I had to guess. At this point, I'd probably power action Fist out and make sure it lands on a side that I can kill Thrawn with.
Oh yeah. Go
And
ahead,
it looks
just
like
get
that's
him off
what's
the
going to
field.
happen. Power action, don't roll the 3.
Nope.
He didn't, so turn it to the 3. And now has the mitigator. Thrawn's dead, but he's probably okay with that. Deflect.
Oh man. You gotta love deflect. That card it comes out. It's getting so much use now, more than it ever has, I think, or at least since the first sets have been out.
Definitely. It's an easy answer to Vader's Fist. When they roll out 3 times and you get to knock 1 or 2 of those back, you don't care.
Yeah, because that's the side they want. They want that range side. They don't they'll take the indirect if they have to and they can pay for it, but most of the time you don't want that side. You want that range. So he hit him over to the Vader die and he got what he wanted, melee.
Of course. So he's going to power action it back out, and we're probably going to see a
Pitch to fear and did man.
what's it called? A best defense to kill off Thrawn. Well, I mean, he doesn't need to now because they're blanks, but
Yeah.
I wouldn't be surprised if Lake has that best defense play in his hand right now.
He's just spending the one to roll out Snoke with the chance cube. So you got 2 resource, 1 resource on Snoke, and a disrupt on Snoke. Which isn't necessarily bad because Dan only has 1 resource and he still has
all those dice
all
with
the
pay
dice
sides.
with base sides, yep.
Which, I mean, Maul is on a resource, so.
Yeah, but I mean, you don't want Maul on the resource. You want Maul on the damage.
I mean, that's true.
Hey.
All right, so here comes that best defense. We rolled into a +4, a 2, and a 2 shields.
Yeah, so it looks like. That's pretty gross. And that would almost kill Snoke.
Yeah, that would put Snoke at 1, and then Lake would just have 2 health remaining.
Yeah, between the 2 of them.
Yeah.
So you can't power action at that point or anything, so.
Yeah. Alright, so what does Lake do here? He has to have mitigation in his hand.
Did he run Mind Trick?
I mean, I would assume so. Mind Trick's just too good not to run, especially in a deck like Thrawn Snoke that just generates a crap ton of resources.
Yeah, no, I agree. Between Mind Trick and Beguile, it's just staple cards.
Alright, so it looks like either he doesn't have mitigation in his hand or he doesn't think that Dan's going to pump the damage into Thrawn to kill him, because he just used the focus on Thrawn to focus Snoke's dice over to what he needed.
Yeah, he definitely didn't want to waste all that. Which really, he could have just left the Maul Saber out there, which he actually can power action it back in.
That's very true. So now, I think, as we just said, both of Lake's characters are at 1 health. If we did our math correctly.
Yeah, because he had 4. He's at 9. Okay, so maybe it was on a 2 then and not a...
It must have been on a 2 instead of a 3, yeah.
Like we said, it's really hard to tell between the 2 and the 3 on the Vader die.
Either way, that's 3 health.
Yeah.
I mean, that's
not a lot.
If you roll into the 4 for 1 on the Vader's Fist, GG.
Yeah, exactly. And he's only half dead.
Best defense, there it is.
Oh, man.
So Lake only has 2 health left, but he has finished off Dan's turn for the round, and he's still got 3 TIE fighters to go. Vader's at 7 health, leaving him with, what, 8?
Mm-hmm.
So TIE fighters, max.
Oh, my
he
gosh.
gets Thrawn back. Well, I was going to say the max TIE fighters can do in a turn is...
What, 6?
6,
I think
with
so.
3 of them on the board. But
Dark
Thrawn's
Ritual.
back, so it doesn't even matter.
He was barely even gone.
He was barely even gone. Alright, and it looks like Lake is using Balanced Ambition to get some cards into his hand.
You just don't think about how good that card is until it's the last card in your hand.
Yeah, I mean, that's its best case scenario.
Yeah, you got full
price of
hand
failure
again.
into Balanced Ambition and just roll out.
Yeah. You're like, oh, well, you claim, okay, I'll just keep re-rolling.
Alright, so Dan looks like he's claimed. We've got all the focus on Lake's side with dice out to spare.
No, I think he's overconfidence.
Is he overconfident?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Yeah, he's going after the focus to keep Lake from focusing. But again, Lake has 5 cards in hand now, so.
Yeah, he has a full hand again. So
No, it doesn't look like he's over.
Yeah.
Okay, there we go. Sorry, there was some dice turning going on.
But now he doesn't have 4 focus sitting out there. Now he only has 2.
Right. And he has 1 less TIE Fighter die, so that's up to 2 less damage this turn.
Yep.
I also missed the Force Illusion coming down on Vader, so he's not in a bad position at the moment.
No, he played it earlier. Remember that's what I was saying.
I
Play
thought
your
it had
defensive
already
cards.
been popped once, but no, you might.
No,
you
that
might
was
be
on
right.
that was on Thrawn. And Vader's fist pitched. Oh, he pitched it to reroll. So he rolled into more indirect damage and the +2.
Yeah, he's got some good damage on the board. If he wants, he could focus that TIE Fighter die into another 2 indirect.
Mm-hmm.
So that would be 2 or 3 packets of 2 indirect, dropping 6 onto Vader, only being able to block 2 of it potentially.
Yep. So that would put him at 11.
It looks like he resolves 2 indirect, and Vader takes it.
Guess he's just gonna wait on the other indirect, or maybe focus. Well, I don't know, because I don't think he's claimed it.
Looks like we have a lot of contemplating coming down from somebody.
Yeah, because Lake resolved the 2 indirect, but that's all he did. He stopped at that.
Right. All right, so there's the focus to money. Takes 2 money. And late claims. All right, so it looks like Dan was passing. He probably had some mitigation in his hand, waiting for Lake to either get some damage out from the TIE fighters or play something with those 3 resources.
Yeah,
but Lake just grabbed the resources and ended the round and moved on, so.
Yeah, maybe he thought he was going to just go ahead and use his focus instead. He just focused the money.
So Lake was just counting his deck there. It looks like he's got maybe 5-6 cards left.
Yeah.
He did discard a probe going into the new round.
Yeah, he knows. He probably knows what he's trying to look for.
Well, he's probably got a Vader's Fist in his hand, not that it really matters.
Well, he did just pitch one a while ago.
Yeah. Well, he's down to the last few cards in his deck, and I think that I saw it. That's mostly why I said he might have it.
Got the second one.
That's right. All right, so Thrawn activates. I saw a Dark Saber and a Vader Saber, I think, in his hand. So I don't even think that you're going for upgrades at this point in time. You're just going for mitigation to make sure you can get your dice out there.
Yeah, definitely.
Doesn't look like he hit anything, though.
Because, I mean, you got to kill the character and then watch it come right back. It's almost as bad as somebody having a second chance on a character.
Oh, yeah. Except that it killed the character, brought him back, and removed 2 of your dice.
Yeah.
However, Vader just rolled out a 3/3.
And
is that a 3/2 and a +3? Something like
Lord,
that. It's a lot of damage. It's all damage. So.
Man, you could kill Thrawn and still have some damage left over to kill Snoke if you do it right.
Looks like he might have lethal on either character. Force Illusion comes down to make sure that Snoke lives. Lake might be trying to decide who he wants to live through the next round.
And making sure he has enough to block it.
There you go. That's always a hard thing to remember when you get down to this late of a game. Especially with Vader, when he can be chucking 8 damage at you with a single die.
Right.
Being able to make sure you actually have those 8 cards in your hand is pretty important, or in your deck is pretty important.
Yeah, or watching one of the rounds, one of the earlier rounds where somebody rolled 4-4-4. So a modified 8 is pretty gross.
All right, so it looks like Lake put the Force Illusion down on Snoke. He wants him to survive. And we get CQA, so 3 cards get discarded from Lake. Gets the Vader's Fist, the Probe, and the Landing.
Oh, man.
Or landing, what is that called?
The Landing Craft.
Landing Craft, that's it.
That could have been a fun play if that had hit the field. Here comes a battle droid.
6 more health. Whee! All right,
Roger,
so Snoke
Roger.
rolls out. He gets, looks like a Disrupt and a Resource and a blank.
Definitely not some good rolls going right now.
So I think if he does have at least 6 damage showing, he needs to go ahead and kill Thrawn here.
Yeah, definitely.
Just before anything else happens. So there's 6 with 2 dice.
Yep. So Thrawn's gone again.
And he's going to leave Vader's die out there so that he can pay the 1 to get Maul's back out.
Which is very smart.
Which you don't need Vader's die out there to do that, but you need it for the obvious modified sides that Maul has.
Oh, yeah, no, I agree. It only has the 1 base side, so it's hard to get anything resolvable by itself.
That being said, I don't think you really even needed to do that. If he had resolved his damage, he would have made, like, Force Illusion. And then he's got the power action on Vader's Fist to finish Snoke off.
It's very true. And I think he only has, what, 1 card in hand?
Yes, 1 card, which is the ATST.
Nice.
All right, so at this point, you need to go ahead and get
Vader's
Fist power action it out, get it resolved before it gets blown up.
Positive side, that was his last card in hand, so unless it naturally rolls the special, he won't get it because he has no way to fix it.
So power action into the 3 damage. So 3, 6, 9, 10, 11. That's lethal showing on board at this point. Make some Force Illusion. 1, 2, 3. And then Blake has no cards in hand, so that's lethal next action.
And he popped his Force Illusion.
4 cards gone.
Oof.
And there it is. That's a really good round one. Ooh, look at that. Dan offering the handshake and getting knocked away.
Right?
What you doing over there, Lake? All right, so that was a really good round one. Honestly, Lake had the best possible turn one that he could have had. Not only did he completely turn off Dan's turn one, he managed to drop 3 TIE fighters down. But I guess Vader just did Vader things and finished it off in the end there. Vader, along with Vader's fist, is really,
It's just strong.
You just can't fight it.
Just Vader's fist. Anything with Vader's fist and Theed is just the thing right now. This is the hot new toy.
Yeah, Vader's fist and Theed, if you're not running it, you're not winning.
Are you even playing Destiny?
You're either not winning or you're playing Mill.
Or you're me and you're just playing hyper aggro.
AKA you're not winning.
That's not true, but okay.
Hey, listen, you only finished like 3 places ahead of me at this event, so.
Yes. Yeah, but I was also playing vehicles.
Yeah, but vehicles, you didn't have Vader's fist, right?
No,
So
I did not. I didn't have a blue character, so I couldn't.
So like I said, if you're not playing Vader's fist and Theed, you're just not winning.
I mean, I was winning to start with, and then it just kind of slowly rolled down the hill.
No. See, I was playing Vader's fist and Theed, and I wasn't winning, so you know. I'm just
So
bad.
you're not always winning.
As I tell literally everybody who talks to me, I am garbage. No one believes me, but hey.
Sometimes you know how to play the game.
No.
It's just never.
I know the theory behind the game. I don't know how to actually play the game.
You're like, I know all the rules, but when I actually play, it's just terrible. You're what's his name from Discard to Reroll? Mr. Chip, yes.
Yeah.
You talk about Destiny all the time, but you're out there in it, but you're just like, I'm kind of here.
Hey, listen, at least I've won a store championship.
Me too.
Yeah.
That's
and
great.
I'd like top forward like 12 more, so you know.
I mean, I didn't get to go to that many, but dang, you know. I kind of bummed it at my other one, so I wouldn't take the top spot from anybody else who deserved to have a chance to get it too, you know. I don't want to be too greedy.
Yeah, me on the other hand, no.
No, you're just trying to be greedy.
Yeah.
I'll take all the store champs. I just took my one. I'll like be happy with that.
To be fair, all the winnings that I got was being used for extra prize support at my local store, but you know.
Yes.
It wasn't like I was just collecting all the top 4 prizes from everywhere and just hoarding them.
Oh, I know. You had your Judge Ahsoka as a prize.
Yeah, which I want back, but you know.
That's a whole nother thing.
That's a whole nother story. All right.
All right, so getting ready
So
to
we're
set
moving
up for
on
game
into the
2.
second round. As per match rules, the loser gets to decide what battlefield gets played. I'm going to assume Lake isn't bad and will choose his own.
We'll see.
We will definitely see. We're still in the mulligan phase.
I think Dan pitched his whole hand again.
Looks like it.
Dang.
Again, you're looking for very specific things with Vader. If you don't get them, I mean,
He is definitely
go for
not
it.
getting them.
Okay, at this point, after that first round, what would you be looking for in your hand as a Vader player?
I would definitely. I mean, I don't know if he runs truce, but I know a lot of people do because it's just like, I mean, Theed is good if you get your battlefield to get that extra resource, but it takes your whole action
And
away
you're
from
fairly
you.
certain that you're not going to have Theed going into round 2 because Lake lost and
Yeah.
he's going to choose his.
So, I mean, if you run truce in your deck, I would definitely be trying to look for it if you're trying to get that 3-drop early.
Yeah, that's really good to point out. At this point, like I just said, it's probably going to be Lake's battlefield. You need to have money generation in your hand for Vader turn 1.
Plus, you've already played. Lake's already played you one round, so now he knows what to look for in your deck. So he's gonna probably be trying to call that kind of stuff if you don't get it out. I guess he has a dented sleeve.
Lake trying to call out some cheating here. You know.
I'm not sure. I guess maybe that's what he was pointing out. I'm not really
I
sure.
think it looked like one of the cards was kind of poking out.
Oh, okay.
Nothing serious, obviously. Both Lake and Dan are friends. They're in the same playtest group. They're just messing around with each other at this point.
Yeah. It's always nice, I think, to be able to go to the tops like that and play against somebody you know. Definitely, for me, it would make me a little more relaxed, I think.
I mean, it's definitely more relaxing, but then you also get to knock your friend out of a top spot.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You can easily get distracted, too. I would, like, joking around more.
It was the Atlanta Regional. I had to knock Lance out of the top 16 spot.
Yeah, poor Lance.
Yeah.
But he did get top 16 at this one,
So there you go.
which was awesome.
Now I feel almost not bad about it.
I thankfully did not have to play any of my friends.
All right, so it looks like Lake's actually going to choose Dan's battlefield.
Oh, yeah, Dan's doing the build rivalry right now, so I don't think he's picked yet.
Well, he's got 2 shields on Thrawn, so.
Oh, true, so yeah. Huh. I guess maybe he's doing it because of that. I don't think he's honestly too concerned about his battlefield to be in there, really.
Yeah, I mean, they're both Theed, but the concern is just giving Vader that extra resource for no reason, turn 1.
Yeah.
But 2 extra shields on Thrawn, you're right, that is kind of important, especially with Bitter Rivalry being a thing.
Yeah.
So.
And that's what sucks, is like him going ahead and doing the Theed, so you're not, okay, you're taking 3, so when you roll out Thrawn, do you call a low number for mitigation, or do you go ahead and try to see if he has an actual expensive...
What is Lake doing? Smashing everything around.
Throwing everything around. Or do you call for 3? Oh,
so
see, he called 3, so yeah.
He called 3, got rid of the Vader Saber.
Yep. So see, if he'd have had a truce, he could have immediately played it.
Right.
And then used Theed to pay for damage.
And Lake's trying to decide what to call on his next activation.
Mm-hmm. Which is just so ugly, because he has a dark saber in his hand. He could go ahead and just call 4 and get rid of that too.
Yep.
If he wanted to. But I mean, he'll leave him money open for mitigation or paying for other damage, but...
But I mean, if you can get rid of Vader's big old...
Yeah, slowing his ramp.
I don't know, man. Like, you slow his ramp, but I mean, he still does 8 damage with his dice.
And then if Greedo's having a good day, does another 2.
Yeah. 10 damage with just your character dice, just casually, no problem.
It's just gross.
I was really hoping that he was going to roll into 8 there so I could be like, speaking of. But instead, it looks like we got a 3 damage and a 2 resource.
Yeah.
Hidden motive into the 3 damage, probably calling for melee.
Right into the damage.
So here comes the power action, I'm sure, into a best defense. I would not be surprised
That is just such a good combo to run together.
Yeah.
The feint and I mean...
Yep, here's the power action. I was going to say, depending on what's in Dan's hand, he might just take the 2 resources.
But he hit it for...
And there's the best defense.
Golly. Yep. It is going to be such a different meta when rotation hits and all these cards like that go away.
All right, so we have basically the same exact turn 1 that we did last round.
Yeah, the only difference is he called for an upgrade to basically hit this time.
Yeah. All right, so let's see what he pulls with his second activation. Greedo rolled in for a damage. Thrawn rolled in for a 2 resource and a shield. And he got rid of the add-odds.
Yep. So he went for mitigation that time.
1 more damage into Thrawn, puts 4 damage down. Again, repeat of last round.
Right.
And we get the power action to put him at 5, getting a crap ton of resources because that's what this deck does.
And probably dropping TIE fighters.
And we get a disrupt and a blink from Snoke.
Yep, pretty sure I see a TIE fighter in his hand.
He does only have 4 resources, so it won't be disgusting. He discards a TIE fighter. So I was actually talking to Lake at one point, and he mentioned that he, like, obviously getting all 4 TIE fighters down is fine, but he has no problem with getting rid of one of the 4 TIE fighters and getting 3 down.
Yeah, I mean, it's still good.
His kind of break-even point was at 3 TIE fighters. As long as you can get that down, you're good to go. And we see why he was discarding to get extra resources so that he could get Vader's Fist turn 1, which, according to me, is the better play. But according to Cruisin' with his TIE fighter gate, he thinks having the 3 TIE fighters is better than Vader's Fist. I know that you don't go into Discord all that much, and for anyone else that doesn't know it, there was a big argument a while back as to which is better, a Vader's Fist or 3 TIE fighters turn 1.
I mean, turn 1, Vader's Fist activates 3 times and can put out more damage than 3 TIE fighters. Yeah. So I would say Vader's Fist.
Literally everyone said Vader's Fist except for
me. In the long run, the Vader's Fist is going to just do more for you either way.
It's true.
It can do 8 in 2 activations from 4 indirect.
Yeah.
Twice. So that's still more damage than the TIE fighters.
But that would also cost you
2
7 resources.
4 for 1, 4 for 1?
Plus 5 to play.
Yeah. But once it's down, it's down. It's Thrawn Snoke. So Thrawn Snoke has no issue with money.
It's very true.
Maybe
so
every
we've
deck.
gone into the next round.
Sorry, we got off track. But every deck may not pump out resources like that one does. But if it's in Thrawn Snoke, then I would definitely pick the Vader's Fist.
All the time, every time. It looks like Darksaber was what Lake pulled at the second act, or no?
No, he went at odds. I think he
pitched
it. Yeah, but he did drop another Force Solution again.
Good old Force Solution. All right. So let's see what happens now. Lake has basically reset to 2 resources after spending everything on Vader's Fist.
Oh, a vibro knife. It's almost hard to want to Theed to have that 3rd resource when Thrawn hasn't activated yet.
Right. But I mean, it could also be a mislead if you do it, get the 3 resources, and you don't have any 3 drops in your hand.
Yeah, just to throw them off.
Yeah.
Not a bad idea either. make them say 3 or something, and you're like, ha. You roll shields, resources, and 1 damage, 1 unblockable damage. Thrawn does have shields.
Thrawn does indeed have shields.
God, could you imagine Maul Saber and Vader Saber with like +4/+4, and then the 1? Here's
Or
9
the,
unblockable damage.
Or
Dead.
Maul Saber, Vader Saber. Yeah. So this would be the ridiculous
That's the most
one.
you could do.
Maul Saber, Vader Saber, and Vibro Knife. +4/+4. What's Vibro Knife have? +3?
I think the best. No, +2.
+2, and then Vader's 4 for 1.
Good lord. That's
14 unblockable damage.
I mean, you're just like, my character has 5 shields. Well, it doesn't matter.
My character has 5 shields and a Force Illusion? Nah, bro.
Nah, I don't care. Vader literally doesn't care.
Alright, anyways, back to the game. Greedo rolls out to a blank. A Chance Cube comes down on Snoke. Thrawn activated at some point. He has a 2 focus and a shield down.
Are we sure we're watching the second game? This is so similar to the first one, other than the Vibro Knife being added.
You are not kidding at all. We saw a discard to reroll, getting Vader to a resource on the Vibro Knife, a 2 shield, and a blank. And Greedo looks like it got a 2 indirect.
I almost would have just left the Vibro Knife alone, because other than getting the +2 modifier by itself, that's the most damage it can roll really alone.
Yeah, I don't know. I'd probably try and discard it to get the +2 to add to one of Vader's die, but
Yeah,
I'm an aggressive player, so
you are aggressive, and sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't.
sometimes.
You pitch your last card and roll blanks.
I always shoot blanks. Alright, so we see the 2 indirect come down onto Snoke. Good old Greedo's actually doing some work. We see a crap ton of resources coming down. Well, I guess it's not a crap ton. 3.
Right.
It could be like,
It could have been like 6. But, I mean, he's got focus sides out there for days, so it doesn't mean he couldn't get more money if he wanted it.
days. And he hasn't Snoke power action yet, so he can definitely get that +2 on that Vibro Knife and that 4 for 1.
Yes.
Comes at 6 unblockable.
That's 6 damage. It's beautiful.
That puts Thrawn
Okay.
at 1 if he doesn't get rid of it, but he overconfidences. Dang. Gets the 4 for 1 again on Vader, but
it's not unblockable now.
Not unblockable, and it removes the Vibro Knife die. So you just got to resolve the Vader at this point. Just go ahead and get your damage out there.
Doesn't have any money.
Nope.
Now he's going to have money, but it doesn't
And
mean
now
he
it's
doesn't
going to
have...
get mitigated.
Right.
Plink, plink. Alright, so he did Theed. He got the resource. Lake is...
He's thinking about what he needs to do.
Checking the discard. Close Quarters Assault is just so good in Vader. I can't find the spot for it in my deck, but it is just so good.
Right, imagine just hitting 3 or... Oh, the guile. There we go.
Reroll.
But 3 or 4 melee sides, and you're just like, okay, you didn't like that hand, did you?
Blank remove. Power action. Best defense.
I think he only has 1 card left.
Oh, he's just going to discard a reroll. He's not going to power action. That's a bold play, Cotton.
Oof.
That's a really bold play, Cotton. It did not play out.
I guess because that was on a blank, and he would have just power action just to roll the other one in.
That was on the 2 resources, wasn't it?
No, that one was not, because he blanked it and removed the other one.
That's right. That's very true. Yeah, I guess either way, but...
Yeah. It almost would have gave him the same result. I mean, he might have could have rolled the other one in and got something off of it, but...
Either way, it would have been the same.
Yeah,
Same general chances for either dice.
Mm-hmm.
So Vader's Fist activates to roll in, gets the shields, it looks like. However, we've got Focus for days. So we get the 2 resources, power action for 4.
Because he couldn't get the shields off.
I mean, even if he had gotten the shields off, you think Lake cares?
Yeah, no. And there goes TIE Fighter.
TIE Fighter number 1. TIE Fighter number 2. Did Lake not grab the other TIE Fighter? It must be in his hand.
Well, I know he pitched one earlier, so he might, the last card might be a TIE Fighter.
Very possible. But at this point, with Vader's Fist and a couple TIE Fighters down, like, game's good to go, man.
Yeah, Dan is definitely a little more behind in this one than he was earlier.
As a quick heads up to anybody watching, we are getting stuttering again. As I saw in my other videos, that means that you'll probably be seeing it too. That's just a process of the stream being downloaded, edited, and all that other stuff into this final video. So please excuse us. We'll try and work on that in the future. All right, so all the shuffling's done. Lake's got a ambush, which he's going to use for the TIE Fighter to roll in a resource. And a resource. All the money, BB.
Actually, I think that's 2 indirect.
Is it?
Yes. Looks like
Yeah,
2
it
indirect.
is. But
And
he
the other
resolved
TIE
the
Fighter.
one to get the other TIE Fighter in his hand, roll it out. And it rolled under his hand, so I can't see.
Yeah, I can't tell if I had a disrupt. I think it's
Disrupt,
a disrupt.
yeah.
And he's got shields on the Vader's fist.
All right, so he's going to go ahead and take some shields on the Thrawn, keep him alive for a little bit longer. That also lets him roll the Vader's Fist die back out with its power action. He put the power action on the TIE Fighter instead of on Vader's Fist. There we go. It's been a very long day at this point.
Right.
I think Vader's Fist rolled into the 3 disrupt, but he's got focuses. So it looks like he focuses to a 2 indirect, a 3 for free, and he's got a disrupt on Snoke. So he gets 4 indirect down.
Just hit Greedo. Just throw the damage on him.
And it looks like, I think all 3 of it went into Greedo, 1 of it into Vader.
And he's dead. So he must have had 4, and he did the Vader's fist.
And a blank for Greedo.
Why, Greedo, why? Every now and then.
So Dan's not looking as good as he was last round. Which is funny considering he actually has a better board state than he did last round when Greedo died. But
Right, he actually has a weapon down this time. It's just, I mean, if he lost this game, he'd still be okay because he did win the first one.
Right.
You just have to go into that 3rd round. It's always nice if you can close out going 2-0.
it's always nice to go out 2-0.
Yes, that's what I did in my regional. I went to 2-0 in the top 8. I was very excited about it.
And then immediately lost in the top 4.
You know, but I made it to the top 4, and I was very proud of that.
That's true. I only made it to the 16th, so, get wrecked me.
Just made that spot to get that spot gloss towel.
That's right. Now all I need is that playmat. I could care less about anything else. All right, so Thrawn's going to activate, roll in, get a blank and a shield. I'm going to take a look at Dan's hand. What do you think you're looking for here, mitigation or upgrades?
Honestly, I'd just say mitigation because he's...
It looks like whatever he was looking for wasn't there because he didn't pull anything, so...
I mean, he did get the immediately power action. I was going to get...
Ooh, no good me dead. Heals 2
might have
damage from
the-
Snoke to get Vader's Fist down, potentially.
Yeah, I was about to say he might have Vader's fist and didn't call for that.
I mean, Vader's Fist isn't a horribly good play because it will use all of his resources, and as we all know, there's a bunch of die on his side of the board that has resource costs.
Yep.
But we'll see what happens. Snoke does activate for a resource and 2 blanks. So that's 3 blanks showing on Lakeside. Please tell me that you have Feel Your Anger.
Oh my gosh, yes. And most people don't have... There's the Vader's fist.
There's Vader's Fist.
Yep. And most people don't even have Feel Your Anger at all in their deck.
Most people don't run around Feel Your Anger because it screws you every time.
Yeah, because anytime you have it in your hand, you're like, all right, let's go. And then they roll no blanks.
No blanks.
At all.
It's better mitigation to not have it.
Or they have a Vader's fist, which has no blanks.
That's true as well. All right, so we see a discard to reroll. Looks like we got a resource blank. Lakes asking about that resource on Snoke. And a focus on Thrawn. No power actions have been done yet, so he can get a ton of resources. I don't really know, like he's got maybe an ATST left in his deck. And
I don't think I've seen him go through either one yet.
Yeah.
And he has 2 in there.
Alright, Vader rolled out into, looks like 2 damage, 1 damage, 2 resources. And Vader's Fist is on the 3 disrupt if I didn't mention it earlier.
I would probably keep the resources.
I would probably definitely keep Vader's 3 or Vader Fist's 3 disrupt, honestly.
Yeah, that's not a terrible idea. When you're playing against Thrawn Snoke, it just looks like a great side for once.
Speaking of that, we're getting a focus into 3 resources and 2 resources.
But when you can power action off of Thrawn for 4,
it looks like he power actioned. He turned 4 dice. Yeah, so he power actioned the focus.
Interesting. Well, I guess he'll get less money then. Then he can disrupt 3 and it wouldn't make you feel as bad.
He's got a crap ton of money on the board, so. And at this point,
Or,
At this point, honestly, like we were saying, using the 3 disrupt isn't horrible, but it's also 1 less damage die that you have when you're already behind.
Yep.
So at this point, Lake may not even care about his 3 resources
yeah.
getting disrupted.
That's why sometimes I get disrupted, and I'm just like, well, at least it's damage I'm not taking if you're worried about disrupting my $1 that I have.
Right. It looks like we're going to the next round. Did I miss something? Wasn't there still a lot left on the board?
There was a lot still left on the board. I'm not sure what happened.
Question mark. But all right, we're going on to the next round.
I don't think it glitched.
No, I don't think we lost a lot of time.
No.
Vader's still at 3 damage. I have no idea.
I'm about to say this is all villains. There's no hyperspace jump, so that's not a thing. Somebody's cheating if it is.
Did they both? Oh, there might have been a double pass. Actually, you know what? That's exactly what it was. Because I remember when we were casting it live, Dan passed and Lake just, all right, done. Time to go. So Lake was ahead that round. He just went ahead and passed and got all the damage off the board and went for the next round.
A super unexpected play because not very often does somebody double pass on you like that where you're like, oh, okay, well, fine.
Yep.
If I were behind, I think I'd be okay with doing that. Just that way I don't get further behind if I'm not able to catch up in the round I'm in.
So Vader's Fist rolls in, gets the 3 indirect. Thrawn rolls in, gets the 1 focus and 2 resource maybe,
So
or shields.
He definitely called 0 because he's holding the friends in high. Every time he has hidden motive in his hand when he calls 0.
He hates that hidden motive, man, but Friends in High's got to go. Friends in High is one of the most dangerous cards in the deck. Lake ain't got that many cards left, it doesn't look like.
I know. But I mean, honestly, like, I don't even feel like the hidden motive would hurt him too much. He has 3 TIE fighters, plus the Vader's Fist twice for activation. I don't really think that would hurt him very bad.
That'd probably be why he went for Friends in High. It's much more dangerous.
Yep, exactly. Next thing, Friends in High straight into a Rise Again.
Gets rid of Fear and Deadman and
he
Rise
probed.
Again. Or not Rise Again.
He still
Hidden
got the
Motive. You made me
anyways.
thinking
I'm
about
sorry.
Rise Again. Alright, Vader finally rolls in. We get blank discard. And probe again to get rid of...
Good lord.
Get rid of another card, leaving Dan with only Vader's Meditation Chamber.
Golly.
So, Thrawn and 2 probes got rid of
And
4
he just
cards.
played it, which, hey, heal the damage. Get a card back.
That means 0 damage from Vader this turn.
Golly. That is gross.
This is round 2.
I think 2 or 3.
That's definitely round... No, like game 2.
Oh, yeah. No, this is game 2.
Yeah.
This one's going a little longer.
So I think... Oh, my God, at the blanks.
That's a lot of blanks. Where's the easy pickings when you need them and feel your anger? Because they're screaming to be played right now.
Yep. So Snoke just rolled out, got the 1 resource and 2 blanks.
I mean, he still has a power action for Vader's Fist, so hopefully it doesn't roll the free side so he can turn it to it.
So here Dan correctly plays Vader's Meditation Chamber, heals the damage, puts a card on the bottom of his deck, and is going to draw a card.
Yeah, so he's not completely out with no cards.
For those that didn't see or didn't bother to watch the Swiss rounds, general information knowledge, Vader's Meditation Chamber has been errated to a then, so you have to heal a damage to be able to then draw a card.
Yes.
So now that was something I wasn't thinking of when he played Vader's Meditation Chamber, he can get that card back into his hand and potentially reroll Vader.
Mm-hmm. So it's not a bad idea to actually play it. Plus, it'll just come in handy for next turn, too.
Correct. So it looks like he power actioned the focus to get 3 focus. Or 4 focus.
For some indirect damage and some money.
Alright. So, I mean, Lake's pretty much set up for this round.
And hasn't even rolled out his TIE fighters yet.
Yeah.
Or power action off the Vader's Fist.
Vader's Fist is just like, wee!
He had a Rise Again.
Alright, Vader rolls in, or re-rolls in, and gets best defended, so it doesn't even matter what he rolled. Get rid of the 2 Vader die.
Yeah. Yep, because that +2 is useless.
Yep.
I'm definitely feeling the legacies being cut into the deck with all the modifiers on the upgrades.
Yeah, when you're running Maul Saber,
and
it's
Vader
definitely
Saber.
worth it. So in my version of the deck, the only thing that I have that really has modified sides is Vader Saber. So not really worth running
I mean, I can
Legacies.
see if,
Is it Legacies?
yes.
legacies in the deck, but I have played decks that have run legacies with Maul Saber, and it is ridiculous.
Yeah, can you see that? Oh, they just have a +4. I'm good. And then they legacies you for 4 damage.
Or if you've only got like Vader's 4, then the +4, you resolve them both. Roll Maul Saber back out to the +4 again, and then legacies.
Yep. Unexpected damage.
And damage from hand. I believe Django wrote a article all about it.
I have a love-hate relationship with damage from hand. I'm okay with it if it's me, because then the opponent doesn't see it coming, but when they do it to you, you're just like, man. Because there's nothing you can do about it unless you pitch their hand out of them.
All right, looks like we're seeing some indirect get resolved.
Oof.
That's 4 for 1, or no. What do you do?
He picked what, the Force Illusion.
Okay, so he had the 4 for 1 and two indirects.
Yes.
So he Force Illusion 4 and has taken 4. That was a hard sentence to say.
Yeah.
4 for 1 and two twos. 2 2s.
2 2s.
All right, so he power action Vader's Fist, rolled it back out. It looks like he got the 3 for 1. He's going to discard to re-roll. I'd probably... Do you have the resource? He has the resource on Chance Cube, so I'd probably keep that 3 for 1, honestly.
I would, because you know you're going to get the money anyways. He has no cards in hand or anything.
And he got another +2, so he's got 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 damage showing, with a 1 on the Chance Cube, a blank on a TIE Fighter, and a Disrupt on Thrawn.
There's 1 card
And
in
Dan
hand.
has no cards in hand, so, I mean, he can chuck to discard, see if he gets anything on Thrawn and the TIE Fighter, but he's got 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Enough to put Vader down to 2 health.
Oof.
It looks like that was the 3 resource on Chance Cube instead of the 1. So he pitches Dark Ritual, and he gets another focus, which turns to
which was probably
2
the 2
indirect, which is lethal.
God, that's just gross.
All right, so there you go. That's what TIE Fighters can do. We're 1-1.
35 minutes left to go into the
35
last
minutes
game.
left, so they've got basically an entire standard game left to play.
Yeah, so that second one was actually a little shorter.
Yeah, but I mean, this is the type of competition that you almost want to see on top 8, top 4 finals match.
Yeah,
1-1 going into round 3, and it's been relatively close.
And now Dan can choose if he wants to keep his battlefield or not, because he lost.
Right, which I assume we saw Lake do it last round, so if it had happened again, Lake would give him Theed again.
Yeah.
But we're obviously going to see Dan keep Theed.
Yeah, honestly, like now that you've played 2 games, I'd say try to dig for that Vibro Knife because it costs 2, no pay sides. And then that way it kind of throws Lake off a little bit on what he should call when he rolls in Thrawn, and then let him go first so you get shields. And then that way he's already taken 2 damage with no way to block for the power action from Snoke or anything.
Right. Something else worth noting or thinking about is if Dan is running resource generation in his deck like Truce, then he can give the battlefield to Lake, gaining 2 shields and basically taking 2 health away from Lake and still being able to play whatever he wants. So
yeah, and honestly, I mean, I don't think he is running Truce because he's gone. I think he should have gone through his deck by now from the 2 games. I don't think he's running it.
Right. He is playing No Good to Me Dead, though, which is good enough, especially if you're looking for, say, Vibro Knife.
Yeah,
so.
Which actually I would say take his battlefield, look for the No Good to Me Dead. I would still probably look for the Vibro Knife, but to have the extra money so you can play the Vibro Knife and still pay for Vader's damage too.
Right.
And then just heal him up for the 2 that he's going to deal to himself anyways, because it's free damage from the Bitter Rivalry. So I mean,
may as well do it.
Yeah, you might as well just heal it up early game and then help yourself out starting out.
And you get an extra percentage thanks to Bitter Rivalry where you draw that card.
Mm-hmm. So it helps you out a little bit too. I mean, heck, if you get the No Good to Me Dead and draw the Darksaber, just drop it. Maybe it'll hit the focus sides.
Right. I mean, you definitely could drop Darksaber turn 1 very easily when fighting a Bitter Rivalry deck.
Mm-hmm.
In fact, I've done it a couple times.
Yeah,
and then I've immediately Frenzy Hide into a Vader's Fist.
That's so gross.
So it looks like we got some downtime. What's your personal opinion on Vader Greedo? Overpowered? Powerful enough?
I think it's powerful enough. I don't think it's overpowered. Like, I know it's winning a lot of stuff right now, but I think it's because there's so much of it out there. When you go to a tournament with, say there's 30 decks or 30 people in the tournament and 10 or 11 of those is Vader, you're bound to see more than one Vader in the top 8 because most of them are going to be the exact same thing. And they're run the exact same way.
Mm-hmm.
Then you have the other people who are probably playing mill and probably playing vehicles, because that's the hot thing right now, is between those three things.
Yeah, so I definitely think I think it was around Legacies was the last time that we really had it, where we had a paper rock scissors meta of there was Sabine, vehicles, and something else.
Anything Yoda.
Sabine, vehicles, and mill probably. Yeah, I think it was Sabine beats mill beats vehicles beats Sabine.
Yeah, I think, when was the one with the fat vehicles? Not the big vehicle now, but like just vehicles in general. Is the hero vehicles the drive-by?
Drive-by, yeah.
Was that then?
I think so, yeah.
There was actually a tournament regional earlier. I don't know how long ago it was. Perth, and they had the top was Boba Phasma and the drive-by.
Yeah, I saw that.
Yeah, I watched it, and it was pretty good.
Yeah.
I enjoyed just seeing the top two decks being anything other than what we've been currently seeing every regional just about.
Yeah, that's the fun thing about watching meta from other countries. It's always so much different from here.
Yeah.
Like, why is no one over there playing Vader Greedo? Because they don't care.
Because they're more creative
Anyways,
than
back
us.
to what I was saying, though. We had that rock, paper, scissors meta
Yes.
for a while, and it kind of died out. Now we've kind of got another one where we've got Vader, we've got Mill, and we've got fat vehicles.
Yeah.
So it's basically the same thing, just Vader took over Sabine's spot, which is exactly what I said would happen a few weeks back.
Yeah. But to me, Vader, when it comes to rolling in damage, is way more consistent than Sabine. Because he has 3 damage sides. Sabine has 2.
So here's the thing about Sabine, though. She doesn't have to be consistent. You just roll her in, and then with ambush, turn all of her dice to the sides that you want with...
Never tell me the odds.
Never tell me the odds, and then resolve it before your opponent does anything.
Yeah.
So you don't need to be consistent. You
Well,
just need
I mean,
to
if
do
you're
it.
playing solo Sabine, then it's easier to do because you're going to have calling in favors. But at the time when it was like run with Ezra,
Solo Sabine is the only way.
well, that was only because she got nerfed.
Yeah.
Had she not got nerfed, Ezra'd still be hanging out over there.
She got air quotes nerfed.
That's kind of like also the same thing for Snoke, air quote nerfed.
Yeah.
And she was already an expensive character.
Yeah, they were like, let's add another point to her. And
she was
like,
already 20.
She was like, okay, I'll just play by myself. Pew, pew, pew.
And it is almost more dangerous by herself.
She is more dangerous by herself. What are you talking about?
Like, I kind of want to do the whole, like, I kind of want to make a Sabine deck before she's gone. I definitely would love to see a new Sabine in the new sets.
Well, in California, Muck just took her to top 4.
I know, and I loved it.
Yeah, so, I mean, she's still viable.
Yeah, Monk was definitely rocking that deck. Mike the Rebel Spy, he made it up at some point, and then he played it on TTS.
He was the original solo Sabine player.
Yeah, he's the original creator of it. And I remember when he posted that video, he was like, I got something crazy I'm going to do. And I was just like...
And it happened.
Yeah, and it happened, and it was gross. And it's like, thanks, Mike.
You're horrible.
Which he's back now, by the way, on YouTube. Which
Guess
makes me
who's
happy.
back?
Him and Jay.
Back
Double
again.
Blake's Gaming.
He's back.
Yes.
Neither Double Blanks or CX3 came to the regionals like they said they would, though. So,
I know, right?
That's 2 events that they were supposed to be at that they didn't show up where we were.
I know. We just got to call them out now.
Yep.
Maybe they'll see it.
They aren't watching, but, if they are watching.
I mean, you could just put the link in their videos. Maybe they'll see
Right.
it. Jay's on there more often now, so he's been making a video at least, I think 2 or 3 this week already.
I mean, Chris did call out one of my articles, so maybe he watches
know
our
he
stuff.
did.
I don't know.
You're just excited.
I was ecstatic. I saw it at like 2 a.m. and I was like, oh, God, well, he hated it.
He just added his own rules.
Right. I mean, he did.
Don't touch my stuff.
All right, guys. So it looks like we're finally at the mulligan stage. So still a couple of minutes left to go. This has gone down from a 35-minute match to a 28-minute
match. And it's going to be less than that by the time they're done. Because they still got to do the bit of rivalry, pick the battlefield, and then go.
And it looks like Dan actually kept a card this time. So.
What do you want to guess? It's a upgrade.
Chances are probably 100%.
Yes. I kind of wish I could see it, just so I would know. Once he mulligans the rest of his hand, I won't know anymore.
Once like discards his whole hand.
Oh my god. That just crushes my soul when somebody's like, "Oh, discard your whole hand."
Anytime somebody discards your whole hand before the round's even started, you're just
Yoda,
all right.
Leia.
Time to go. Yeah, the Yoda Leia.
Hit and run, commando raid.
Leia runs in, rolls in, hits a blank and a 2, and then you play a card from your hand, and then she's like, "Commando raid, discard 4, lol."
Like if you see her on that 2 discard side, you already know what card do I need to find most important to play out of my hand right now.
And use it
Yep.
immediately.
Unless you could get rid of that, you might as well figure it out.
Yeah, I was actually playing someone last night that didn't know Commander Raid was a card.
Oh, God. I feel for that person.
Yeah, I dropped it, and they were like,
That's like not knowing Snoke has a power action.
They were a newer player, so I knew.
Oh, okay. Oh, that's a hard way to find out about the game. That'll make you want to quit. Just don't worry. It rotates out in like 2 months. It'll be fine.
They wanted to practice against Mill, so it was on them.
Ooh, why? God.
Because they were going to a regional, and right now you're going to see either vehicles, Mill, or Vader. So
I know, but Mill just stresses me out. Kills all your plans. Everything. You're like, I'm going to play all these things. Never mind.
All right, so it looks like Dan went with his battlefield again. So we're
All
going
right.
to go with the same old, 2 damage to Thrawn, 2 shields to Thrawn, gain an extra card from Bitter Rivalry, and probably a power action to start the round off.
Yeah, I definitely feel like he should run Truce in there.
It's just so good. I didn't want to run it in mine, but the extra resource ambush action is just
Yeah.
important.
Yeah, it's just the ambush. That's the see. The ambush is the biggest thing.
Yep. Vader is the most consistently easy to call out deck in the game. You know exactly what it's going to do every single time.
I would. Yep. I want to feel like
There's
it.
the Vader
he
saber.
probably
He-
kept that Vader
he
saber
had
for
to call
sure.
3.
He had to.
Lake had to call 3 here.
I mean, it's been the same every time. He didn't.
No,
he called
0.
0. Probably looking for that hidden motive again. Got it every time.
All right. So we're
So,
seeing
hey.
Vader Saber come down next. There's 2 ways that you can play Vader here, honestly. We got Fear and Deadman, Balanced Ambition, Vader's Fist, Vader Saber, and there was another card I didn't see. So I was
Oh, he's not. Yeah, he's
I
gonna
was
try
about to say there's 2 ways that you can play Vader. You can play your weapon on him and hope to God that you don't get any of the... speaking of hidden motive, hope to God that you don't get any of the pay sides. Or you can roll out, resolve any sides that you have, and then play your weapon either at the end of the turn or the next round.
Or ramp some money if you manage to roll resources on Vader. Just say, hey.
Right. I'm an aggro player, so I like dropping my weapon immediately.
Yep.
Especially because you might get rolls like what Dan just did, where he rolled base side, and didn't have to pay for him.
And best defense.
Remember what's happened the first round, literally every single game this match?
Every time. It's the exact
Hidden
same
motive
every
into best
time.
defense.
Like, he probably expected it at this point to be in his hand.
Right. Well, I mean, now he can play Vader Saber without worrying about it, right?
Yes, this is very true.
He doesn't have to spend any money this turn.
Nope. He knows he can play and then won't have to worry about not resolving. He'll be ready for next turn. Since you shut down again on turn 1.
Yeah.
So gross.
Well, we've seen the game run both ways after this turn 1 has happened, where he both won and lost. So we'll see how this one turns out. It does look like Vader or Greedo's doing his job and rolling into the 2 indirect, though.
I'll look at Greedo being helpful. Every now and then.
Every now and then.
Every
Not
now and
always, but...
He finds it in there somewhere.
Ha! That's what she said.
Just gonna sit over here and wait for actions to happen.
That's also what she said.
Oh,
All right, so 2 indirect goes down onto Snoke. We see a power action for 3 resources, putting Thrawn at 4 damage. Vader's Fist comes down turn 1. Anytime Vader's Fist comes down, it's
every game.
It's scary. Like you can be so far ahead, like your opponent has 2 health and they drop Vader's Fist and you're like, oh god, no.
You're just like, what I gotta do? Now I gotta deal with 3 activations.
Alright, so hold on one second. Vader's Fist rolled in. It looked like it resolved.
Shields. You hit the shield sides?
No, the first time.
Oh, I'm sorry.
I didn't see what it was the first time, but he rolled in and hit the shields that time.
Interesting.
So focus, probably into the 3 for free. No, the 4
the
for
4 for 1.
Does he
I
have
had 2
and the
resources
2
on.
resources? That makes sense. So 4 indirect probably all goes into Greedo. And we get the final activation from Vader's Fist for some shields.
I don't think Dan is actually running Price of Failure, from what we've seen through his deck so far.
I think he is.
Is he?
If I remember his deck profile, he's running a single Price of Failure.
Oh, okay.
Could be wrong, but I'm 99%. He's also running Balanced Ambition.
Yeah, we did see that.
Which means that you're running Price of Failure.
Yeah, I mean, if he's only running one of it, it's not his like massive go-to win the game kind of thing.
Right. And we get another 4 indirect side, or is that a 3 indirect? Looks like a 3 indirect. Lake did pitch his ATST to get it, though, so.
I mean, he's got 2 in there, so.
Yeah, and you've got Vader's Fist down, so you really don't need anything else.
Right. Maybe a couple, maybe a TIE Fighter or 2 just to have them out there.
Just for fun.
Just an extra dice.
Make it a party.
TIE Fighters everywhere. I love the thematic of it, though.
Alright, so Dan did come out of that round ahead in damage. Board state's basically the same. Vader Saber versus Vader's Fist.
Ooh.
Vader rolls out into a +4, a 4-for-1, and a 2 or 3.
It definitely looks like the +4, 4-for-1, and at least a 2 or 3. That's
exactly what I said.
10 or
Good
11.
job.
Yeah, I just wanted to confirm.
Yeah.
That's a lot of damage. How about that?
It is. How about that?
I would just kill Snoke.
Just 8.
Because at least you take away a character that can deal damage.
I mean, that is 100% lethal on Snoke if Lake doesn't have mitigation, but there's the
oh
Beguile.
my gosh.
To reroll Vader's 4-for-1.
Hurts my soul sometimes.
Into more damage. Either
Right
the
back
2 or the
into
3,
it.
whichever one. Probably the 2. It kind of
But
looks like a 2 from here.
You definitely go ahead and just remove the Vader Saber for sure.
Yeah, you 100% remove it.
Oh.
Well, he's baiting out that.
Yeah, he's making him pitch a card to do it.
He's baiting out that best defense again.
Ugh.
Here we go.
I mean, at least if you're still getting 3 damage on a character, whether you're doing it or not. Best defense on a character with so much health, though, is just terrible. It's just. Like, he's got 12 health, it's fine.
Even if it is one of your main characters.
Mm-hmm.
So there's the power action. Discarding a Dark Saber to roll back into some base damage, which he needed to resolve with the Vader Saber. So that's at bare minimum 7 damage when he pays for the +1. We get a hidden motive.
Every time.
For
Good
damage
Lord.
gets removed. Alright, so either activate Greedo or reroll Vader. It's going to be the 2 things that happen here. He's going to get Greedo's die in the pool so that he can reroll it if need be.
Got that 2 indirect.
But he got that 2 indirect, so he doesn't really need B.
Yeah, because, I mean, Snoke does have some damage.
Alright, so Thrawn comes down. He's going to call whatever number. Looks like he got a focus and shield.
Yeah. So what do you call at this point? Maybe 1, probably? Depending on how you run it.
I haven't seen any big mitigation that I can remember coming from Dan, so probably a 1 at this point.
Yep.
He's got Force Illusion, Balance Ambition, Price of Failure, and Overconfidence gets removed.
I mean, I'd play the Force Illusion, play the Boundless Ambition, draw up more cards.
Yeah. So he did 2 damage from Greedo, so he'll probably play... oh no, we're rewinding. I was going to say he could deal the 2 indirect from Greedo, play Price of Failure, roll Greedo back in.
No, he went ahead and did it.
He went ahead. That's interesting.
I would have probably dealt it and then tried to reroll it.
Exactly.
Yeah, and then try to get more for more. You weren't losing out on it because you were already resolving it.
Unless he was afraid of, like, picking it out of his hand with, say, Probe.
Maybe. Because I don't know I can't see what's in his hand, so.
Well, Dan obviously can't see what's in his hand, but
I mean, he does have
that
a
would
Boundless
probably be
Ambition.
why I would go ahead and use Price of Failure if I was afraid of the Probe play.
But now you need to get the Vader die on base damage to resolve
I mean, you've got Price of Failure, or not Price of Failure, Balance Ambition, and Force Illusion down, so.
Yeah, true.
You're not really worried about that. He's going to go ahead and Boundless. I probably would have went ahead and played,
The
like
Force
you said,
Illusion.
Force Illusion, just so that you can get that extra card.
Exactly.
But he might also just want the resource there for resolving sides, so.
It's very true.
Alright, so he has to pitch something to reroll Vader here. Do you leave the Vader Saber on the +4 at this point?
Yes, I would definitely probably just leave it alone.
Yeah, you've only got the 1 in 6 chance of it rolling. Well, you've got a 1 in 3 chance of it rolling a resolvable side. And Vader rolls into the 2 resource, so nothing that you need.
Nope.
We got a power action for a crap ton of money, so here comes some TIE Fighters, I'm sure. Dan discards again, probably.
Yeah, I probably would. Just I mean, the resources aren't necessarily bad. Like, ooh.
Yeah, there's the discard on the Force Illusion. There's the
4
for 1.
Hey.
So he's got 8 damage showing. He's got the resource to pay for it, and then he can roll Vader back in.
So at this point, I would honestly probably just resolve the 4 for 1. Maybe because that's going to be an overkill somewhere. Well, no.
12. I mean,
Yeah,
he can kill
slightly.
Snoke. Boundless Ambition from Lake. No. Oh, he just power action. No, overconfidence.
Yep. He should have went ahead and just resolved it.
Yep.
Oh, man.
Gets rid of the Vader die.
Daggone.
That was super greedy. I don't
Yep,
know.
he
He
should've
had
just
the
went ahead and
resource. I don't know
resolved.
why he didn't go ahead and resolve it. He wanted to pay for the Vader saber.
I know, but he could have killed a character.
Yep. He had Vader active. He should have just did it.
And
best
oh
defense.
my lord.
Price of Fire was literally worthless.
Yep.
Price of Fire got him a 2 resource side on Vader.
I feel like he should have kept the close quarters assault, try to pitch something, but because he might have got rid of the Boundless Ambition and it never would have happened.
This was a horrible turn for Dan.
Mm-hmm.
So discard to reroll for a blank. So now your Price of Fire has gotten you nothing.
Jeez.
Discard to reroll.
Oh
Into
my.
nothing.
Stressing me out. At this point, I probably would have just. I don't even know. It's frustrating to keep rolling that
At this
blank
point,
like
I'd
that.
be tilted and discard the last card in my hand and get a blank
Just
again.
Probably, and just be like, okay, my turn's done.
Yeah, I'm done.
It was done when I priced a failure, and I shouldn't have. One of those decisions where you're just like, why did I do that? I mean, Lake's got indirect focuses. So, I mean, he's... Oh.
And a Force Illusion comes down.
And at this point, I mean, depending on what your last card in your hand is, it'd be great if it was another Boundless Ambition. Just
Nobody
try
wants
again.
to off. So we saw discard to reroll from Lake.
Yeah, the 3 disrupt, 2 focus, 2 indirect, and I think 3 money. I don't think he has any more cards in hand.
No, I don't think so either. So what's on his board is on his board, except for the focus, of course.
Add odds.
Looks like an add odds to
Get rid of
get rid of the money.
I don't know. I think I would have gotten rid of the Vader's Fist die because it's on the 3 indirect or the 3.
3 disrupt.
Yeah, so you could have got rid of it.
Eh.
I mean, he
I
had
mean,
no
3
cards in
disrupt.
hand,
Yeah.
so he wouldn't. The money would have done no good currently, and he would have got rid of a die. He could have focused to damage, which is what he's doing. So now he wouldn't be
Now
at
he's
9.
at 9 health or 9 damage.
So he would only still be at 6 because he would have removed it. That's what I probably would have done.
That was a really... So this went from looking good for Dan
To not good.
to this game's pretty much over. Snoke could be dead right now.
I know, like, I don't know. Maybe it's different, like when you've been playing Destiny all day and you don't feel the same way, like when you're sitting there versus.
I mean,
just watching
obviously,
it.
hindsight and watching a game is far different from
Yeah.
actually playing it after having played for like 10 hours that day. But you know.
Very long day, and sometimes you just feel pressure to make your decisions faster.
All right, so Vader rolled in. Looks like he got a 3 and a +3. That definitely don't look like a 4.
I think you're probably right. And then you got the shields.
He's got another Price of Fire. It looks like he does
Actually,
run 2 in his
2.
deck.
That's a dead card now, just like Greedo.
Just like Greedo. I mean, it's technically not dead. You can play it. You just scoop the
Yeah.
game. Go out on your own terms. Price of Fire Vader, let's go.
You're like, just kidding. I run Dark Ritual, bring Greedo back. Okay, kill him again.
I mean, I did that in my Maul Bib deck. I ran Dark Ritual and Price of Failure. With Price of Failure, Dark Ritual, Price of Failure again.
Oh my gosh. That's just gross.
It was. And Maul's like, wee!
Slinging everything around. All the disrupt sides instead of the damage sides. And another Force Illusion. Do you even have cards at this point to Force Illusion?
I don't know.
I don't think he does unless he's only blocking like 2 here, 2 here.
Which you're not going to with a Vader die.
You're not wrong.
Resolve your damage.
The 2 is not even there.
Blank.
And a shield. Oh, I thought he took a shield. Oh, he did. He damaged himself to take 3 shields.
Hey, that's a net gain of 2 health, excuse me.
No, I'm not arguing with it.
No, I was saying excuse me
'cause
because I
you
yawned.
Yes.
Excuse you? How dare you say that?
How dare you damage yourself to protect yourself? Force illusions everywhere.
3 force illusions on the board.
Dan has definitely got more deck left at this point than
Far
Blake does.
more deck, yeah. I mean, it could just be the angle of the camera, but it does look like Lake only has like 2 or 3 cards left.
I mean, he might have a few more than that, but I don't think he'd have more than 10.
So we get a power action and a probe. Goodbye.
Oh,
Nothing.
neither. Nice.
Get riggedy wrecked. We do get a vibro knife viewed in his hand,
Yes,
which
in the
means those force
meditation
illusions
chamber.
are potentially worthless.
Mm-hmm. Which could be great. And those shields.
And those shields.
All you need is 2 damage. Just
the base 2 side.
yeah, straight into Thrawn.
It does have a base 2, or is that a 1? It has a 1, I think
it's
and a
one.
+2.
But he's got to get it down, and he's already activated. But
Alright, so he discards 3 roll. He gets the 3 and the 2 resources, I think. No, 3 and 3. Or 2 and 3. He gets damage.
He gets
the point
damage,
of what I'm
and
trying to say here.
I think even if he used all of it at this point, he wouldn't be able to kill Thrawn.
No, he definitely wouldn't, because 3 would go to shields.
Yep, and the other 3 goes to the force illusion.
Force illusion, yeah. Even if he had a 4-for-1 and a 4-for-1, it wouldn't be enough.
When 8 damage on your character dice isn't enough.
Nah.
You just kind of subtly cry.
Not even subtly. Just all out.
And just tears all over your cards. Judge?
Judge, I don't know how to respond to this.
Some intense thinking going right now. You got 1 card left. You got damage. I'm not... I mean, you don't have a choice. They have force. He has a force illusion on both characters. You have no choice but to deal it, and he either take it or block it. I mean,
he's going to discard the vibro knife. That's a bold move, Cotton.
And I think he rolled the same thing.
Yep.
I mean, at least it's still resolvable either way. But oof.
Putting Vader up to 11 damage. We force illusion.
He might have more cards left than we thought.
Yeah, it looks like it. Like I said, it's probably just the angle.
He did still kill him, though, either way. So he went for Snoke.
Yeah, there was a little bit of a time skip, so it was hard to see exactly how much damage was done, but it was enough. Snoke died. And that leaves Thrawn at 2 health with 3 shields and a force illusion. So potentially, if Lake gets really unlucky with his rolls, Dan can pull it out here. We'll see.
Because he's in a different board state this game than he was the other ones, because he didn't have TIE fighters down.
No TIE fighters down, but
His only damage dealer at this point is the
Vader's fist, which is still like 6 to 8 damage a turn.
Yep,
So.
as long as you got money. And currently he doesn't.
Speaking of that, we had a little bit of a skip to, it looks like a 2 shield showing on the Vader's fist.
Ooh.
Discarded for a 3-for-1, so nothing. Although he does have the 2 resources, so now he gets 3 damage off. It's going to have to be force illusioned.
Yeah, you got to force illusion that.
Or he can put Vader at 1 health.
I mean, you could.
Looks like
That's
he's putting
terrible
Vader at
idea.
1 health.
Oof. Now you got to do it.
Actually, that was a good point, because if he had rolled into the
4-for-1, he would have died.
He would have died if he had
That's
force
true.
illusion the 3, so.
And he had a resource to pay for it, so.
Yeah. All right, so we're going into the last round. Thrawn is. Remember what I said about Dan pulling it out? It's not looking that way.
Unless he draws into a rise again, he's only got 3 resources though.
He's technically got 4 because he can feed, but.
Yeah, unless he just pulls a no good to me dead out of nowhere and just says, "Ha."
I mean, no good to me dead isn't a bad idea.
No, if it keeps you alive, get you another upgrade.
Both players take a look at the other player's discard to see what's left of their decks.
Not much.
Both of these decks have a habit of milling themselves out, so.
Between pitching and rerolling. And you think Thrawn Snoke wouldn't have to reroll so much with all the focus?
Well, Thrawn Snoke isn't necessarily milling itself out due to the focus. It's milling itself out just to the amount of cards that get used.
It's true. A lot of mitigation. It's like the villain version of like a mill deck where it plays a lot of mitigation. And
a
can
lot of
afford
mitigation, a few supports that just wreck your face.
And can afford it.
Yeah. So Vader rolled out to the discard, the shields, and it looks like the 1 damage on Vader's saber.
Yep. And then
And then we saw a hidden motive on the Vader's Fist for some shields.
I mean, he must have called. I would imagine most people call range on it because they don't want that direct damage side. But when you have one character, it doesn't really matter.
I don't know. I'd probably call indirect, right?
I'd call indirect because it has higher damage side because it can go up to 4.
If he rolls the other one either way, then it's dead Vader because he has 1 health. But you know, it looks like Lake was trying to discard to reroll, and he got the 3 disrupt. He's trying to just go ahead and straight kill him with Vader's Fist. Alright, so Vader rerolled. We've got shields for days and 2 resources.
Man, when your saber wants to be just like you.
Those shields aren't bad. He can get
no, they're not.
He can get 3 shields, roll Vader back in, and deal a damage.
This is very true. I'm ping a shield off, but better than nothing.
Thrawn rolled out with 2 disrupts.
Double disrupts.
Trying to decide what to call. Taking a quick peek through Dan's discard. Stop playing with your keys over there.
I'm trying to figure out why I still have my work keys hooked to my belt loop.
Alright, so Lake has decided to call for the No Good to Me Dead.
He had it in his hand.
He did.
If only he would have had the Roz again.
He's got the Vader's Meditation Chamber too. So probably play it.
I would probably definitely say play it.
It gets him the extra health, it gets him another card in his hand, and it gets him a card in his deck.
Yep. I'd say play it, heal the damage, do the card shenanigans, take some shields.
He's going to power action here. I don't see why you would power action currently because you don't really have a need for it.
Probably because Lake has 5 disrupt showing on his dice.
Alright, so Lake discards to reroll. It looks like we get a 3 indirect and
double
2
blanks.
So he takes 2 shields. And then 2 shields, aka 1 shield. Pays 1 damage to roll Vader back, or pays 1 resource to roll Vader back out with a damage.
4 more resources.
So Vader now has 4 resources showing, and ooh, that's a Flames from the Past that just got discarded. And it looks like we got Focus into Disrupt and a blank. I wonder why he discarded to reroll the damage.
I don't.
Probably looking for the 4 to end the game, if I had to guess. But he's got the Focus to go to the 4 now, so.
Probably.
That means Dan had to answer it by playing Vader's Meditation Chamber. Lake focuses,
and
heals the damage, and he lives with 1 health.
Oof.
Lake's not going to play that way, though. It looks he's going to take some resources. He might be trying to play some TIE Fighters. Did we go to the next round? What is this?
He's Force Meditation. Or the Chamber.
Oh, the Chamber. Okay,
yeah,
he's deciding what to put on his deck.
Ooh.
He gets the overconfidence.
I was about to say, at first he threw down the Roz again.
Yeah. And then he drew a card and healed the damage.
I was about to say, that was the crucial part, is remembering. I would have done that first, because you get caught up in something else, you might forget to do it.
Right. Well, I think he did it in the correct order, because in the order of what's on the card. I think, if I remember the wording correctly. I don't know.
Heal 1 damage from a blue character.
We get some resources over on Lake's side. We'll probably see this extra card discarded. He has to try and get some damage out here.
Yeah, I would say go ahead and... Yep, no, the Maul Saber.
Maul Saber's gone. Rerolls into...
He did get some damage.
2 resource and 2 damage.
Yeah, either way, you're either breaking the shield or you're forcing him to...
Force illusion.
Yeah, close to it.
Looks like Lake claims. So we get the 2 damage popping the shields off. We get 2 resources from Vader. Oh, hold on. Looks like something's being rewound. He's going to decide to force illusion. Lake has 2 cards left in deck afterwards.
Oof. And 2 in hand, so...
That's why he went ahead and resolved force illusion now.
Before he couldn't.
Before he couldn't.
Yeah, because he wouldn't have been able to after that. I think he would have drew all of them. Except, what, 1 maybe?
Yeah, he might have had 1 left, which Vader's not going to roll a single damage, so...
Right, you could have left it there and been like, oh, never mind.
Alright, Lake has... I don't know. If I would have rolled Thrawn in there first, I might have went for Vader's Fist to try and get that 4 for 1.
I mean, they're both on their last 5 cards. And he knew he was getting the rise again.
And he knew that there'd be mitigation in his hand from the last turn, so Thrawn was definitely the right choice.
Yeah, he knew the add-odds was there from earlier. He knew he put the overconfidence, on the bottom.
Yep. So he got rid of the add-odds. So he still got overconfidence. And I mean, with a good overconfidence play, it can wipe out all of Lake's damage for the turn. So Lake's only damage die being that Vader's Fist has really come back to bite him this game.
Yeah, not getting the TIE fighters or anything down.
Honestly, the 4 shields came to bite him because those 3 shields just saved Vader's life. Honestly, if he hadn't rolled into the 2 shields, it would have been game over last turn.
Yeah, sometimes you want Vader shields.
More times than you'd expect, honestly. All right, so Vader rolls out. He only needs 3, 4, 5 damage.
4 damage.
He looks like he's got it.
2, 4. Yeah, he needs 4.
And
he's Dark Ritual. Good Lord. Just when you thought you had it.
Well, he can kill Thrawn. So.
That is enemy, and Snoke's exhausted. So Thrawn's dice come off the board.
What is Snoke at? He gets put at 6?
He puts it heals up to half, rounded up.
So I'd have to kill Thrawn here. Because you want to kill Snoke because he's got the two indirect sides.
And his dice aren't in the pool, and it puts Thrawn's out of the pool. So now all you have is just the Vader's Fist with no focus option or anything.
Right, but...
That's what I think I would do.
If he doesn't kill Thrawn here, then he's got 2 characters that he has to contend with, so...
Yeah.
Alright, so Thrawn's dead. Vader rolls back out.
And rolled back into more damage.
And looks like the 3 damage side. Vader's Fist rolls in for the first time this round, getting the 3 for 1, or 3 for free.
3 for free, which doesn't kill him yet.
Not yet.
And he has 1 resource.
Oh,
and
add-odds.
Yes, because he had 2 in hand.
So power action on Vader's Fist to roll it back in, probably.
And what's great is he could do force the chamber, heal a damage, draw that add-odds back, and put another add-odds back at the bottom from the discard.
Right.
That's so gross, and just keep cycling it.
It looks like we do have the 3 disrupt on Vader's Fist. He's going to discard Rise Again to reroll the blank on Vader. For that 2 or 3 damage.
It looks like a 3 and a 2. Even
Either
if it's
way,
4.
Unless it's a 3 and a 3, it's not lethal. And either way, it's not lethal because overconfidence comes down. He gets the blank and the 2 resources. Probably rolls it back in at this point.
I mean, you can still get another card back with your chamber, so you're not going to be out of cards.
Right.
Yet.
You're never going to be out of cards unless you get double passed. So power action to roll Vader back in to the 3 damage side. So we've got 2 resources, 3 damage. Vader's Fist rolls to the 3 for 1.
But he has no money.
And CQA. He has 1 card showing, so discard that last card from Lake, and he wins on mill.
Oh, man.
And right at the end of the round, time 2.
Just damage slapping decks, just winning on mill.
All right, guys, so we're coming up to the end of the video, so we'll end really quickly. Thank you guys for watching Top 8. Top 4 is coming out soon. That was an amazing match, ending on mill. We'll see you all of you guys back for the next round.
See ya.